The Mueller probe is 1 year old today. We already heard from Rudy Giuliani, who says right now he does not think an indictment of any sort is in the works. Whether that comes up in today's press briefing is anyone's guess. Let's get to read right now with Dow Jones Newswire's chief editor Glenn Hall, Trump 2020 campaign media advisor, board member Gina Loudon, and Democratic strategist Antoine Seawright. Let me get right now, Antoine, with you this sense that the administration is saying whatever's happening on the Mueller thing, it's not going to be damaging to the president. It might be damaging to people around him, maybe not to the president. I'd hate to crassly politicize this, but let me crassly politicize this. If that were the case, how do the midterms shake out?
Well, I think that's probably an alternative fact, the fact that it will not be damaging to the president. The truth of the matter is 22 people have been charged, 5 have pled guilty, and 1 is going to jail, and they all have a connection to Donald J. Trump in some way, shape, or form.
But if it's not Donald Trump, if it's not an alternative fact that it's not Donald Trump, what would you say?
Well, here's what I would tell you. The fact that they are connected to Mr. Trump and his campaign, and people know how to put 2 and 2 together when it comes to this issue. And I do think voters are smarter than probably what most people think, and they realize the connection, and it's going to impact the president and the Republican Party in the midterms and in the 2020 election.
All right. What do you think, Gina?
Well, Neil, the hate Trump media, CBS polls itself says that 53% of Americans are tired of this investigation. They believe that it is politically motivated, and that's where the American people stand. They're tired of it, and they realize that the reason they're targeting all the people around the president is because they can't find anything on the most highly vetted, most highly investigated, to the tune of more than $10 million of taxpayer money, president in history. The American people are done with this, Neil. They want it over with. They want an end to it. If the Democrats want to win anything in the midterms, they better wake up to that fact.
All right. I don't know where any of that is going, but Glenn, I do know right now that the trade talks are resuming with the Chinese today amid these reports that there's been bickering on the Trump team as to how to proceed. Conservatives like Peter Navarro, of course, who wanted to get much tougher and in your face with the Chinese. Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, takes a more moderate, maybe I think what they call a globalist approach. Where is this going?
Well, I think we're still a long way off from resolving these conflicts, Neil. There's a lot of discussion that's being done in the background of all of this, and I think neither side really wants to get into a full-scale trade war, but there's a lot of gap between what both sides are posturing at this point at the highest level.
All right, but we also know, Glenn, that they don't want to put a number to it. They don't want to put, that is the Chinese, a set number to how much to reduce the trade gap between our countries. So is that a big sticking point?
Well, I think there's going to have to be some kind of reduction in order for Donald Trump to have made good on his promises, because he made a stand out there, and his administration has taken a stand about this being a key part of the negotiations. So there's going to have to be some compromise on that. But how does that look like, and in what parts of industries are those compromises going to be worked out? A lot of that's going to center on technology, I believe.
All right, Gina, would it bother you then whatever deal we come up with also helps a company, a Chinese telecom company that was spying on us and sanctioned for doing so?
Well, I mean, yes, that would bother me if that's all true. But I think that the president has made it clear that he not only wants to make America great again, but he really does want to bring the rest of the world in and let everybody flourish under a Trump economy with America at the lead. I think the president's been clear about that, and he's done a great job of building that and giving some of our foreign competitors confidence that it doesn't have to be such a tug all the time between all the countries.
Antoine, a deal would be a deal, or would it for you?
I'm not sure, but I can tell you I'm very concerned the fact that this company perhaps was spying on us and you can take the Democratic and Republican politics out of it. Just as an American citizen, I think we all have a right to be very concerned about what that could mean, not just for what it was, but what it could be in the future, and what that could set the tone for future for other companies who potentially think that we're going to give them a pass and work with them for spying on American citizens.
Guys, thank you all very, very much. A couple of developments are waiting for that White House brief.